Welcome to the stream. Sorry about that. I was a little distracted setting up the workspace. So, wait, is this going live now, or is this not started yet? I don't know when it started. It's not started, is it? Son of a... Hold on, let me see. Oh, wait. Sorry. New platform. Some format changes. Got all thrown off. Normally, I decide when it starts on YouTube. Anyway, so on Monday, I designed this low accuracy scan. Great. Okay, whatever. So on Monday, I designed this lap desk, which is sort of a kidney-shaped thing with two handles and an inlay area for a mouse pad. And today I'm going to be cutting it out. Now, first I have to actually get the machine to... Tape movement detected. That's false. I have not moved the tape. The machine's being a bit picky today because A, I have a very large area to cover, and B, I have a large gap over here. So I'm going to switch cameras real quick. Now you see, this is what I'm talking about. I have this area where the mouse pad is going to go that I didn't put any tape because it's all just going to get chewed up anyway. I also didn't have time to double check the depth. I'm pretty sure it's 2 millimeters. But it's telling me this is a low accuracy. Tape movement detected over here. I know that's false. I did not move this tape at all. So let me update scan. Finish. Now let's see. It's currently in the process of updating the workspace. And let's see if I get tape movement detected errors now. Okay, I should be able to cut this area now. Seems to have just enough tape. I might have to add tape stretching the 2 millimeter thing. Stretching the pocket after I cut it, because I'm not going to cut it completely out. I have chisels here. I'm going to cut a grid for the pocket. A little rough grid. I'm going to cut the edges clean with an inside cut on the pocket for the mouse pad. And then I'm going to cut a rough grid, and then I'm going to use these chisels to chisel out and smooth up the surface. That way I'm not spending 2 hours, 3 hours cutting that big pocket just with the blade. I can just clean across with the chisel. Take the whitest one and save a lot of time that way. So before I do the chiseling, I can always stretch some shaper tape across the raised grid here. And that'll give me more room to see to actually cut out the rest of the shape. So I would start with this. Do the pocket first, add tape, rescan, cut the handles, cut the whole thing out in that order. Then I take it over to that. Well, actually, I bring that over here to the middle. I pack this all up, bring the router table over to the middle, round over the whole thing. So, be back in a second. Double check a thing. go. So this is the mouse pad that's going in. Here we go. This is one I found for cheap, $10 at the Best Buy. One sale. And it is 2 millimeters thick. Right here. So that's how deep our pocket's going to be. So let me pop the old memory stick in here. The old thumb drive. And let's create a grid so that I can align the bottom left corner proper with here. That's really the only thing we're using the grid for, so we're just going to make a quick, let's make it a 1/4 inch, so I can make it a 1/4 inch up and a 1/4 inch to the side. Well, no, I shouldn't make it up, just to the side. So, here we go. 1/4 inch, and new grid. And we're just gonna lowered too far. Hold the button too long. It doesn't stop as soon as you let go. Okay, so there we go. Set probe depth. Okay, now we got plenty of room to select a variety of X's, you know, a very wide X, so you go all the way over, all the way over here. Maybe not all the way over there. Maybe just over here, where I have more tape. Alright. And probe. And then back here. Probe. And it doesn't have to be a perfect grid. It just has to be good enough that we can confidently put the desk near this edge and not too far off of this edge. So now we import, switch to USB. As you can see, there's the mouse pad, desk with mouse pad. There it is. So we change the anchor to the bottom left corner. There we go. And bring it to y = 0. X equals... Not a lot of tape over here. I should add some tape here, maybe. I don't know. X equals 0.25. Place. Okay. And as you can see, that's our work area. That's our whole workspace with the desk and everything. The mouse pad, as you can see, is lined up over there, away from all that tape. Except it's eating the tape I'm gonna need to make that cut. Uh-oh. That's gonna be tricky. That's gonna make things a little interesting. So I'm probably gonna want to add a little more tape over here. Past that, then rescan from there like I did before. And then I guess I can throw a bit of extra in here, 1 or 2 dominoes loose. So let's see. Let's see what we can do to make this work. Alright, so we get the knife, the tape, get a bit of that going. Bit of that going. And where else can we add tape? Throw some back here even. Alright, so now we scan, update scan. Let's start from this end. Just going to scan and finish. Alright, so now we got a little extra tape going on. So at this rate, it's got to update. It's going to take a little while. It's a big workspace and a lot of samples. And here we go. And I can cut here confidently. And I can cut here confidently. All right. Alright, so I can cut the whole outside edge of the mouse pad without any issues. As long as I can do that, I can start. So let's get that going. So we're going to switch to cut. We're going to get to the edge of this, switch from pocket to inside cut. Switch to a 1/4 inch bit. Gonna aim at some dots, and we're gonna do a Z-touch. There we go. Depth, millimeters. (2 millimeters), 0.079 inches. And we're gonna start cutting. So I gotta get ear protection. Get the vacuum ready. So now a couple of things happened. A, I miscalculated a little bit where the tape goes. And, I hope I didn't push this a 1/4 inch in the wrong direction either. That's something I'm not worried about. Oh, I pushed it a 1/4 inch in the wrong direction. I did. It was supposed to be pushed a 1/4 inch this way. I pushed it a 1/4 inch this way. I misread which was X and which was Y. So now the back of this sort of lines up with the back of this. This is just shy of 16 inches. The thing was made to be 15 3/4. So now it's going to have a funny edge a little bit on the back. Because it's going to be slightly over the wood. By like an 1/8 of an inch. It was supposed to be... Yeah, something happened. So that happened. Another thing happened. The cut here came out a little bit wavy. I don't know how that happened. But there's it goes in over here. Which means that some of the tape wasn't read correctly when I scanned. So it adjusted and moved the line here for this section. But that's okay, I'll just clean that up after the fact. In fact, I can probably, for that section, manually offset and then cut out. So let's just get the goggles on. Let me go out by just the tiniest bit. Offset. 0.01. Negative. No. Okay. Yeah, the screen itself is jerking as I move around this area. Let's get a look here. So you see, yep, the screen is jerking. You can't tell where it is over there because of the low tape. So it's really screwed up over there. So it's not going to cut right, whether I want it to or not. So I'm just going to have to do some quick pocketing, get that out of the way, throw more tape on and rescan. So offset 0. That really does a number on your back, though. Jesus Christ. Okay. Time for a test fit real quick. Let me go fetch the open one. Obviously, he doesn't want one. He changed his mind. Guy I was making this for took the mouse pad away, so he apparently doesn't want his desk. So I was making one for him, one for someone else. So I'm just making the one now, I guess. He apparently doesn't want his. This mouse pad is missing from where it was left. He took it back. So I guess he doesn't get one. Get a desk made for him now. Oh well. A little wanting. Or I guess not, because he changed his mind, apparently. It was a little bit larger than the gap. That's okay. So what we're going to do now that we have the space, let's do a quick sanding of the whole thing, just to clean up, just to clean up all the little burrs, all the little wood sticking up. Which one's the vacuum? This one? Okay. This power strip is pulling out of the wall. I gotta fix that at some point. Okay. Alright. Go. Alright. So that's the thing, I don't know if the mouse pads are exactly the same size and shape, and I had measured the one that was already open and off to the side and waiting for this desk to be made for it, and now it has disappeared. Of course. Found it. Unbelievable. Got them both now. Okay, so let's check this one, because I don't know if they're exactly the same size. Go this way anyway. So let's check. It's a little bit wider. Slightly. A little bit taller. So let's line up one corner and see by about how much. Oh man, the teeniest amount. Alright, so now's the time to add more shaper tape, of course, rescan, anchoring from here, from this tape here. That way, when it detects tape movement, because it misread the tape over here for some reason. The tape over here, I don't know what it was doing, that it was offsetting here, but I'm gonna add more tape. Here's the tape. So we can always peel it off and conserve it later. Just gonna stretch it across the gaps, make sure it's on a lot of the surface. Don't let it dip too much in the holes, otherwise we're going to have real wavy tape. So only press it where it's over something. Stretch it across and do like maybe 3 of these. So one there, one here. Got to retape the mouse area now so that we have plenty of tape over on this side to read, because that was a huge problem not having any tape to read on this side. But I wasn't going to put it down just for it to get chewed up. Now that the pocketing has been pre-done, well, mostly, and I just have to come in with the chisel and just clean it up, sand it down. It's all good. Tape here. Gotta use real advanced techniques. I'm just gonna extract this domino here, just so I don't have, because I don't know if that would cause an issue. This one is a little wavy, so I'm gonna take it in. Alright. So, go back to scan, go back to update scan. Gotta do that a lot with these big projects. And we'll start here, pointing at these tapes. And we'll just scan our way across. Of course, these dominoes here are dead. And sample, sample, sample. Until we can't sample no more. It looks like, yeah, those are all the dead ones there. Alright, updating workspace. Now I'm going to wind up killing this domino, this domino, this domino, this one, and this one, but all the other ones in between the ends on those three new strips are going to be fine until I'm done. Because I gotta redo the edge here. I gotta make it a little wider. So let's cut, pocket, change it to inside cut. Change it to a negative point. Oof, this is going to be a tough one. Let me get the caliper so I can get at least a rough idea. Okay, get the caliper out. Get the shaper out of the way. Get a mouse pad down. Try and get a rough idea of how far. Oh boy. It's gotta be a way to. How do I measure this? I know. Pencil. Or knife. Either way works. Oop. Careful. There we go. Got a rough idea of how far off that is. So we just come here with the caliper, line that up there. And we're looking at about a 0.15 inch. So we want to take that in half, so point. Yeah, 0.75 inch offset then, because it's going all the way around. So not 0.15 would be 0.075. Yeah. 0.075 offset. Get the knife out of there. Get. Now we got lots of dot health though, because we got a ton of dots here, and hopefully it'll clean up this edge here where. So let's see. Let's get the vacuum in. this has to be untangled. Got some problems with the tape, of course, that have to be addressed. So remove that, remove that. You can leave that. But where the tape has been adversely affected by the shaper's presence, the tape needs to be cleaned up so that it can actually be read correctly. So we gotta fix that, tighten that. There we go. Tape movement detected, you know. So let's, and we don't seem to be getting the tape movement detected error anymore, so that's good. So all the tape that got pulled up slightly by the shaper is now back where it should be, so we should be ready to cut the rest of this when the time comes. But for now, let's worry about whether or not the mouse pad will fit in the mouse pad area. So let's pop it in, and goodness, it seems to fit. Oh geez, it's a little bit roomy in this direction, but it's fine. No, that's a pretty snug fit. That's actually pretty snug. So when the time comes, chisel out all that. It's a lot of tape this project uses, but look at this. I'm still on my first roll. I think I'm about halfway through after all the projects I've done. Check out the YouTube to see how many things I made. Still got 1.5 rolls of tape. So it's time to find where the handles are. Oh, here they are. And change the offset back to 0, of course, because that doesn't have to match anything. That has to be exactly how we designed it to be. Done. So this we'll do in 3 passes. Each handle, 3 passes. So we're looking at about a 0.8 inch thick piece of wood. Let's just double check real quick. It's just a shame about the back of the wood. Oh no. This is pretty thin. This is 0.68. 0.69 thereabouts. So, sorry, 0.7 inch wood. That's right. Not 0.8. So we'll do 0.3, 0.6, and then 0.7. 3 passes to cut everything out. So we'll start with the back handle. So I'll orient you to get a better look. And that is like a little scale model of the table itself. Except it's not scaled in this dimension. It's extra thick. Go. It's a nice handle. to report that despite the loss of about 1/10 of an inch of the back due to it being incorrectly placed on the workspace, the rounding in the back is still going to look pretty natural because I did a quick test cut and it seems to, and that's how it's going to dip in as it starts to come into the wood. And that's the waste side and that's the good side. So you get a pretty good idea there if I lower you in. Jeez, you can't get a good look. Hold on, let me detach this from the tripod. Alright. See, this is how it's going to look. It's going to keep continuing in that direction like that. So ignore this little corner, sharp corner, that's waist side. So it's going to come in like so to make the shape. So it's going to be alright. I could have sworn this was X and this was Y though. Because I put here and here for X and then here for Y. So when I put 0.25 on the X, then I was shifting this way. I don't know what happened. Unless it accidentally said 0Y in here. Well, we'll see when I cut this side. Because if this is... We'll see when I start to cut this side. Because if this also is a good bit off the edge, then it's not that I made a mistake, it's that the grid was somehow off. So I don't know. We'll find out. The grid might have been off because of the low tape that we started with out of necessity. So there was no use putting a ton of tape in this area until after I did the pre-pocketing. So anyway, up, cut out for a handle, and they match up pretty exact, so you know they both got cut good. So here we have the second handle cut, and you can really feel it. It feels good. I mean, it's got sharp corners, digs into your skin a little bit, but we're going to round the whole thing over inside and out, so that won't matter in time. So really all that's left is to cut the whole thing out. And it seems to have been on the wrong dimension that it got shifted. Pain. This is right on the edge. Or actually no, it's only 1/4 inch off, and that's the bit. The bit is, I had set it to 1/4 inch so that it wouldn't line up, so that the bit would I wanted the bit to drive through wood even on this side. It's a 1/4 inch bit. So the offset is correct on the X. So I think the grid was just off. That's annoying. Huh? Great. Okay, well. Yeah, so clearly, even though I had set it to 0.25, it's cutting at 0.25, 0.25 because you can see the obvious 1/4 inch offset both on this dimension and on this dimension. So I don't know if I must have shifted it up slightly right as I was clicking or what. But it ended up being shifted on both dimensions instead of just on this dimension over a little bit. Also, this is definitely the single biggest thing I've ever made. Well, I guess the cabinet is technically bigger, but no one piece is as long as this of the cabinet. This is the single biggest piece I've ever made. Because the cabinet was 5 pieces, about 3/4 this length. And roughly this width. Some pieces were a little more, but even still, it was just a couple of straight cuts, a couple of tracks, this and that. It wasn't this long, big, elaborate thing with wide pockets and such. And I'm noticing a lot of jitter. The shaper's having trouble telling exactly where it is in places. I don't know if it's because of the size of the workspace, that it's too big in one dimension, that it's starting to... But yeah, it waved in here. This is very wavy over here. Let me show you. Got real wavy. So here it's pretty smooth, but then you get to this side and here it waved in a little bit. And then over here, real wavy. So I'm gonna have to sand that a lot. When I round it over, when I sand it and round it over, it's gonna look just fine, but geez, that is a bit messy. So that'll take a lot of cleaning to fix, but it's good. It's pretty good, anyway. Could be worse. So I think I'm just going to go straight through. I think I'm not going to do 3 passes, because it's going to be a mess anyway. So I'm just going to do another 0.4 inches in. We're already an hour in anyway. So I got to wrap this up. So let's get going. And I forgot to hit record, so I'm going to have to download the low-quality compressed Facebook version to upload to YouTube later, instead of just uploading a high-quality version. So I was going to say, oh, there will be a high-quality version uploaded to YouTube later. There won't be. There's going to be the downloaded and recompressed Facebook version on the YouTube. Ain't that lovely. So anyway, go straight to 0.7. Alright, so I almost damaged the cord on the shaper at one point. It got sort of snagged. I was really yanking on it. Hope that's fine. Yeah, let's vacuum up. Let's just get that out. Okay. That's all the wood I got left for that piece. I'm gonna need to go buy some wood. Especially since I don't have anything that long anymore, and I was supposed to make 2 of these. I only had enough wood for 1. I was supposed to make 1 tomorrow, but it's gonna have to wait. Oh, that handle is really handy. So this is it. It's all cut out. That's a nice lap desk, and that's got a nice curve to go around your big old gut. You put it down, put your computer here, put your mouse pad here, huge mouse pad. So that's it. It's done. It's built. It's ready to go. I'm just going to clean up, sand it up, round it over, throw a finish on it. Pictures to follow. All right.